Hey everyone, I'm Kody with Up to Code.
And I'm Camille.
We're on video 3 of 10 of our drywall series. Now you can see that we're already kind of halfway through this, but this video is actually about inspecting your drywall and pre-filling it. Now the reason we're shooting it right now is because we bought a brand new fancy dual mic setup and when we were talking, my mic wasn't working at all, but we couldn't tell because your mic was picking it all up.
Yeah.
So then when you went away from me, it sounded like garbage. And the whole reason I'm shooting this is A, better sound, better light, better video quality altogether. So that's a bit of a shame, but we're going to just jump into it. We're going to show the clips and the video from when we actually did the pre-drywall inspection and pre-fill. But yeah, we're just going to have to roll with it. So thanks guys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to video 3 of 10 of our drywall series with Camille. I'm Kody with Up to Code. So Camille's got a little bit of schooling, but we haven't touched really any tools yet.
No tools.
So I'm going to show you, we're going to talk about inspecting the drywall and pre-filling.
Okay.
And then once after that, then we can actually get into the fun stuff.
Okay.
So I'll just show you what to look for off the bat. You're going to need to hang on to that. We need a screwdriver to set any screws that are proud. I'll carry around this knife because I got some cutting to do, and this rasp. So if anytime we're doing the corner beads, if anything's proud, we got to rasp it off just for corners. I actually set it up where we don't need this, but sometimes you do. So anyway, we'll put this aside for now, and I'll just show you what to look for. So upon your inspection, you just want to look for proud screws, loose tapes, broken corners, and any gaps you need to pre-fill with the Confill. Okay, so right off the bat, I did actually notice a couple of screws that are proud. I'm just going to dimple that in. You just want to dimple the paper, you don't want to break it right through. A lot of times the inside angles, they're going to be proud. Just got to kind of check all that out. And notice one more here, yeah, there's one up here. So once you check for screws, that's all good. Then for the paper, you can see right here, it's loose. Anytime there's loose paper, if you mud over top of that, it's all going to be hollow in behind, and it'll actually show a bubble when it gets wet. So when you're doing your coating, you'll see a bubble underneath. When you paint, you'll see that same bubble. For this piece, I'm just going to cut it out where it's loose and get out any loose material. Now this butt joint I did on purpose. Like I did a lot of these gaps and bad butt joints on purpose just to show you how to do it properly. Like some of this paper is a little bit proud, and I don't want to dimple it. Like a lot of times guys will take the back side of their knife and just dimple that in, but I like to, if there is paper just kind of sticking proud, just like to get a nice sharp Ulta knife and just cut it off a little bit. You're kind of making a little V. So we'll do that on any butt joints that are bad. We don't want to build up that butt joint any more than we need to. Okay, so that's good there. We'll do an inspection. Right here I see a little loose piece of paper sticking out. Get rid of that. The other thing we're going to do, I want to show Camille, if we don't pre-fill this one flat, how it affects the tape. It's a lot harder to apply the tape and it can bubble out. I want to show you guys that. Oftentimes you'll find guys, if they miss a stud, have to pull their screw out. It leaves these outies. And then at this point you can just dimple those in a little bit and just make it in. And then you can just touch those up when you do all your screws. So on this butt joint, I know that it has damage because I built it. So we actually damaged this butt joint here. So this is a good inspection notice because I can tell if there's a dimple and that paper is really loose. See how loose that is? If I just feel around, I can actually tell where it's lumpy. I'm just going to cut through the paper itself. And then afterwards, if I need to cut more, see how mangled that is? That would have been a mess. But with our Confill, It doesn't really matter because it sets just as hard as the gypsum inside the drywall. So any of that loose paper, see how this paper is still loose? We need to get rid of that. It's just going to create bubbles. Get a number on this thing. Yeah, so any loose material, I'm just going to kind of hack at it. Okay, so don't karate chop your sheets, okay? That might help. You won't have damage like this typically, but it's good to be aware of. I'm going to cut all the paper off of here, just like we did last time. I want to show you another thing just to keep in mind. Up at the top corner, I noticed a loose piece of board. Same thing, you can kind of see. A lot of times if guys try to fit it tight into a corner and there's anything behind there, it'll just bust that out. You just got to cut that off. Just cut it right out. Same with that little loose paper. Get any loose material out of there. So just check your whole entire job site, check for screws, everything that we covered just now. Once you have that ready, then you're time for some Confill. And the reason that you want to pre-fill is it just makes taping that much easier. It's quicker dry time because it's a chemical cure. It'll dry like in an hour. Whereas if you have a big gap like this and you fill it with taping mud, it'll dribble down. If it's too thin, it'll bubble out. Or later, it'll take like 2 or 3 days to cure, which you can't afford that kind of time, and it'll shrink funny later on. So confilling any gaps just makes the whole process that much easier. So I'll teach you how to mix Confill. It dries really quick, it sets fast. I'll do the mixing just because it gets a little bit awkward in the pan here. Try not to breathe it in, try to be gentle. So just add a little water first. Takes quite a bit of water. And it'll take you a couple attempts, just play with the ratio. We're gonna want it, sometimes you need it really thick and other times on like these butt joints we'll need it a bit thinner. So it just depends on the situation. You just kind of stir it around and make it work. So yeah, once you have a consistent amount and desired thickness, then it's time.
And what's the desired thickness? What consistency do you want?
Depends, because we probably want to hit the big gaps first. So we'll keep it a little thicker, and then when we do the butt joints where it's a finer little gap, then we'll go a little bit thinner just to get it. So it's, otherwise you can't let this build up on the wall because you cannot sand this off. So when I say wipe it tight, wipe it tight.
Okay. Will it thicken up as it's sitting?
Yeah. I'll just mix it a little bit thicker so that otherwise if it's too sloppy, it's too hard to handle. But it's like a little topping there. It's like, you're a good baker. It's like getting all the lumps out of the flour, right?
Okay.
Not that I know anything about that, but I know that lumpy flour is probably not a good thing.
No.
All right. Okay.
Ready to do this?
So here's a moment of truth. Camille's never touched a mudding tool in her life. And this isn't about embarrassing her or anything like that. Like, there's going to be a learning curve, and that's the whole point of the video, is to just learn the techniques. I'll show you a couple of methods. you can try it out, and then I can just show you a few little tricks on. It's mostly about how to hold the angles. Like if you wipe down, you can wipe like this. You can wipe like this. You can apply it different ways, and I'll teach you all that. And just so you can feel better about yourself, I just did a kettlebell workout with my buddy Keith, who's the kettlebell king. And the first workout, like, I got embarrassed because talk about humility. Working out for the first time ever doing kettlebells, it just destroyed me. So anyway, I know what it's like to be in your shoes. So.
Okay.
I'm going to start up high. For up here, because I don't want to get a bench out, I'm going to show you how to fill this gap differently than I'm going to fill the rest. So sometimes I have to sit and think about it. I'm going to load up just the one side of my knife. So that way when I turn it, everything goes in there. So just load up the one side. That's what I mean by wiping tight. You want to make sure it's in the crack. Just take the whole, just load some mud up or some Confill on the tip. And I'll show you a little trick here. If you hold your knife like this, it leaves Confill on the other side of the corner. And I'll show you that again when we get lower. But if I hold my knife straight down, I can actually wipe it off the other side of the angle. And I'll just do it one more time just to get, let's fill this part a little differently. So I'm just going to load it up on the tip of the knife, and then I'm just going to drag it down. Just like that. If that technique doesn't work for you, then just doesn't really matter how fancy you get, just get it in there. I'll just wipe that excess off kind of quick. So I'll show you that again. Notice how my knife is like this. Actually, let me get some excess on there. So if I hold my knife like this and try to wipe it, I'm going to get some goofy material up, and it's not going to wipe the other side clean. So the slight difference is when you hold it straight up against the drywall. So right here is going to wipe off the other side of this drywall. So if I go like this, you can't wipe it off, but if I just hold it in tight, it cleans up that other side. Okay, here you go. This is a little bit thicker Confill for you to finish that corner.
Okay.
So good luck, because I know it's going to be tricky. You've never done this before, so I understand it's going to be.
Okay.
So you have, just do whatever way feels natural.
Can I just go? Does he need to get in here?
Yeah, just
What? Oh my goodness, I would suck at this.
You could start from the bottom and work your way up so it's not falling. Yeah, so just go in there and just squish it like this. Oh God. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. How do you people do this?
It looks easy, doesn't it?
It does, but it's not.
That's better. That's better. Yeah, do that.
It's hard to get it right on the end of your...
Yeah, you just got to keep loading it. Yeah, that's perfect.
I don't know about that. Oh my goodness, don't hire me for anything.
You will become better. You are the Padawan learner, but soon the apprentice will outdo the master. Yeah, that's good. That's really good technique.
Jeez, I'm really feeling that crack there.
Well, those are pretty big gaps. which when you go to tape, it's actually going to help us a lot more. Doing this step is so crucial. Makes taping just so much faster.
I'm going to put another hole in the wall while we're fixing this wall.
No, you're doing really good because it basically doesn't matter who you are. If you're using that method, you always have to reload it on the front.
This is somewhere where you can never have too much because you can always scrape it off.
Pretty much. As long as you don't ever leave Confill proud, because like I said, it's a bugger. You'd almost have to use that cheese grater, the rasp, to get it off.
Did I fill it all? No.
So yeah, it's pretty close. Do a little more at the very top. Yeah. And then a little more at the bottom where you first started. Yeah, you got her. Cool.
And then you go down?
Clean both sides of your knife. You can go up or down, don't matter. Yep, perfect. Just notice the difference. If you lay it really flat, how it doesn't really take the material off, but if you actually hold it a little more perpendicular, you can wipe it tighter.
Oh,
so as we start learning, there's differences. So there's times where you want to lay it, we call it floating, where you lay it real flat. And there's other times where you want to wipe it tight and you hold it more perpendicular.
Okay.
So just notice the difference. That's super good.
Mine's way tighter than yours. Look at that up there.
Totally. Okay, perfect. So I'll just do these couple high spots. I'll do the other thick areas and then we'll just mix it down. So that way we want it a little thinner when we do the butt joints and this bevel or this flap.
Okay.
And one thing I want to say, this little gap in this angle is borderline whether we need to fill it or not, but I'm just going to do it just because it does make it a lot easier. Sometimes I'll leave material on the wall like that, and then you just pick a little bit up with the tip, some more up. So if I want to get it in that inside corner, you just go like that. Keep in mind that when I turn it, it's on the left side. And you just pack it in that corner. I could do the wipe down method like this, but I want to pack it in there. That drywall is 1/2 inch thick. I want to really pack it in there to the back. This is the only way to really do it properly. So old Garbles McNarbles over here, you just don't want it to be proud, but we want to fill it up so that our taping mud doesn't take 3 days to dry. Now if you wanted to, you could hit that with your trowel, or you could hit it with a 6-inch knife. I'm just going to hit it with a 4-inch. Yeah, I know it's not proud. Okay, Camille, you can finish up. So do that flat. Don't do the flat on the green because we want to do a test when we're taping tomorrow.
Okay.
And then do that butt joint.
Okay. Oh boy.
You can do it.
Whoa. With a cool whip. No?
Yeah, with the flat, yeah, do it just like that on the flats because we want to maintain that bevel. So if you wipe it sideways, it might fill it up too much, and then we kind of defeat the purpose of having it as a flat. Yeah, so before you get too far, just clean this up. Remember, just kind of, yeah, you can clean it up like that too.
Why did you want me to
I
go
would
this
do
way?
that. Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Sounds like a samurai sword.
Ding, ding, ding. Iced a few cakes in my day. It's kind of like that. Mm-hmm. Oh. Ew, you even built a short wall and I still can't reach the top.
Yeah, I should have built it a little bit shorter.
What about this piece here where the paper stuff is showing? Nothing?
That's probably okay. Yeah. If it was any worse, we'd probably cut it off, but it's pretty minor. And it's kind of gravelly stuff, hey? So this is one area of the set that we haven't talked about yet. So we have an outside 45 angle and an inside angle. We'll get to those when we start to do beads. But because we're pre-filling, I do want to pre-fill this. I don't know if it's necessarily that it needs to get done, but we'll just do it. Just we have leftover material anyway. And I don't think it needs to come to a perfect point. That's not that point. Just want to fill that gap so that a taping mud doesn't take years to dry up here. I forgot to point out, now, I did a pretty good job boarding this corner, but if you're on the job site or at your own house and one side's a little proud than the other, that's when a point where you grab your rasp and you just rasp it off. So you can tell that neither side is proud. If I take my knife, I'm not hitting the other side. And if I go the other way, I'm not hitting the other side. But there's a lot of times where this side could be sticking out past, but if you rasp it off at this angle, it'll always create a point no matter what. So that's one thing you want to keep in mind with these angles. I'll jump over to this angle too. This inside offset is actually pretty tight. We're going to pre-fill it just for stuffs and giggles. And this one, I'm just going to plane, I call it planing over to the other side. So if I fill this side, I won't make a perfect point to an inside angle. So I'll just ride this side, I'll push my knife all the way over and down. Okay, so the trick here is just ride the other side of that angle, but make sure your knife isn't coming off of the board. Now sometimes if you have these little, see how that inside angle, you don't always have to clean that up. You can always leave it overhanging a bit. See that little bit right there? I can always come tomorrow when it's nice and dry and just knock that off this way. So I'll do a little bit more. So just want to basically make that inside V. And I'm pretty sure I can just leave that. If it's a lot of times with mudding, if you get the right stroke and there's a little material left, especially in this scenario, just leave it. You can just kind of knock that off tomorrow. So that finishes that. What'd you think?
Pretty good. Went pretty smooth. Think
Yeah.
I may have a natural talent.
Yeah, actually, you picked it up really, really quickly. Like literally, like the first 30 seconds, you could tell you're just learning it. But after that, it was boom, like really clean, really well done. So yeah, I'm excited for the next step, which is taping.
Yay, I'm excited too.
Okay, stay tuned. All right, so the first 3 videos here seemed, for me anyway, a little bit boring. Now it's because I know the material so well. I hope you guys are finding good value at home. Now that we've done this initial prep work, now we're actually getting into the good stuff. Video 4 will show you how to start applying tapes. Okay, thanks for tuning in.
See you guys.